Joining us now in an exclusive interview, Medtronic CEO Geoff Martha. Geoff, good to see you. Any impact at all from these GLP-1s? People have been talking about them a lot, but maybe too much.
Yeah, no, I would agree. First of all, good to be here, John, on a great day for Medtronic, a really strong quarter, broad-based growth across our different businesses and regions around the world, and powered by a lot of great innovation. And getting back to the GLP-1 question, the effect we've seen is negligible. In the short term, we've seen a little bit of effect on our bariatric surgery business, but our physicians are predicting that actually to flip back to growth. And beyond that, we're seeing really no effect. We don't even anticipate seeing an effect long term. And on our earnings call today, we brought in our chief medical officer, who walked investors through the science-backed analysis that we had done based on epidemiology, and also what we learned about the GLP-1s over the last couple of months, and even last weekend with the SELECT trial readout. And the conclusion, was a strong opinion that this is not going to impact us in the long term. And like I said, it's the impact short term has been negligible. Okay,
so you had particularly strong results in the surgical business. Tell us about the tailwinds behind that, what we should expect to have happen from here, how much of that is a continuing kind of return to normalcy for those kinds of procedures, and how much of it is driven by technology or unique advantages you feel that Medtronic has?
Sure. Well, first of all, the markets, one of the things we also talked about is the markets around the world are pretty stable with, these elective procedures starting up again, and we're seeing that all around the world. And then also that particular business was impacted over the last year with supply chain issues, and those are also in the rearview mirror. So that's really helped. But then on top of that, there is a lot of innovation in that business. We are, one of the leaders globally on this surgery, going from like open surgery to laparoscopic surgery, where we lead, and now into robotic surgery. And our Hugo, our soft tissue surgical robot, which is on the market outside the U.S. and especially in Europe, is doing really well. And we're really excited about the impact that's going to have on not just our surgery business, but overall Medtronic as that enters the U.S. here in the future. The clinical trial's ongoing in the U.S. for FDA approval, and we're really excited about the future prospects of that product and that business.
Geoff, I want to go back to the comment you just made about your physicians saying, noting a flip back to growth for bariatric products. Why specifically, and how does it speak to, I guess, the sustainability of a new healthcare system where you do have these GLP-1 drugs in place?
Well, in this, Morgan, in this particular case, a number of these patients are actually so obese that bariatric surgery, which we believe will continue to be the gold standard for here, they're too heavy for that. It's dangerous, and the GLP-1s are actually helping them get down to a weight that the surgery actually can be performed. And so we actually think over time that's going to be a bit of a tailwind for us. And don't get me wrong, in the GLP-1s, they are, a very important new class of drugs. And, I'm sure like you, I've talked to many people that are on these drugs, and the impact is quite profound in terms of weight loss. But it's in that 10 to 15% range. And many of the patients that we operate on need 25+% weight loss to get back to a healthy position. And these GLP drugs are actually helping them do that.
Some key nuance there for the conversation for investors. I do need to shift gears, though, Geoff, because earlier this year, we had a CNBC investigation reporting on a whistleblower lawsuit that alleges that for nearly a decade, Medtronic sales representatives operated a bribery scheme at a veterans hospital in Kansas. I realize that the company has pushed back on these allegations. It's a lawsuit that is still active. But to ask you directly, what have you done to ensure that the corporate culture doesn't lead to something similar occurring elsewhere?
Well, first of all, ethics are table stakes in the med tech industry and at Medtronic, and it's tied to our mission. It's tied to what we do every day. And it's a reason why we've been around and thrive for 75 years. That trust that we have with physicians and patients is paramount. And the issue that you're referring to is an allegation, whistleblower allegation, by a competitive sales rep from one of our competitors. And we've looked into this situation and, just do not believe these allegations are true. And at this point, don't have any further comment on that one.